Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is a brand new league here at Apex Online Racing. For iRacing, it is the Formula 3, season number 1, round number 1, here at Montreal, Canada. My name is King-Kodiak, and I'll be one of your commentators throughout this evening's double race indeed. Before we go into the details of that, joining me in the commentary box is the Lord God, that is Stevie SQ. Stevie! Come back to me! Stevie's muted. He has had to go off and do something. Right, in which case, it is a two-race format, as you can see. A feature race that has a 3-lap qualifying session preceding it to form the grid. That is 40 minutes long, as you can see on screen. In fact, let me bring up that, which will better explain.
I'm back, by the way.
Hello! Welcome back, Stevie. Introduced you and you disappeared. So,
yeah, I pushed the button and it wouldn't unpush.
Oh no, that's never good. So, it is a 40-minute feature race, which has a 3-lap qualifying session that precedes it, has a mandatory pit stop requirement. And then, after that, in another session, we have a 25-minute sprint race, which is reverse base grid from the race results of the feature race. So, this is going to be interesting. Both races form round 1. And this league will be run in conjunction with the Formula Rally 3.5 league at alternating weeks. So this week is round 1 for Formula 3. Next week will be round 1 for Formula Rally 3.5. So yes, looking forward to those indeed. Now, these cars have only just been released to iRacing, so there's a lot of uncertainty with these. That includes us. I've commentated on Formula Rally 3.5 in other games, not in iRacing. This will be the first time I've actually commentated on single-seaters within iRacing itself, so there is a lot of unknowns in this one, but really cannot wait.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Like you say, it's a new car. There's no one's got like the ultimate setup. They've not unlocked the tricks to this car. It's completely new, but it's the same for everyone. They've had like a week of looking at what's coming up. They've got a week of trying out tracks, but this is it now. It's the same for everybody. You've had the same amount of time. Time to go racing.
Oh yes, oh yes. This is a practice session which we're just coming to the end of. The reason why we wanted to get the stream underway a little bit earlier was to explain the new league, its format, but also the qualifying is like we say, it's a 3-lap qualifying session, but they will have the track to themselves, so we won't see lots of qualifying going on. You'll see the times coming. You can see the ticker along the top. That will update itself as best it can. But we'll try and pick somebody up. You can hear the cars running, but they won't see each other. So let's see who we can find. Nicholas Domino, the man responsible for all of our amazing graphics works. So we will follow him through his lap when we can. Not everybody is coming out on track immediately. They have 10 minutes. Correct me if I'm wrong on this one, Stevie. They have 10 minutes to do their 3 laps, is that right?
There's a 10-minute session, and in that time they can set a maximum of 3 timed laps.
There we go.
You have the track to yourself. You can't. There's no excuses. You can't say you got blocked. You can't say someone got an unfair slipstream. You get the track to yourself. It's the best driver to do it. Track conditions are the same for everyone. They can stop on their lap and reset and go again, but it counts once you started that lap. Counts.
That's it.
That's it. A lot of drivers sometimes will do 1 lap, so then start in second as they finish the first, then go back and then have a cool down lap and then go for the third. Others will just go 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom.
Absolutely.
So yeah. Should we do an onboard lap with Domino as he goes through the final chicane?
Absolutely. So follow him through the chicane. Those bumps are vicious in this car. So that is something our drivers are definitely going to have to keep in mind. Crosses over the line and comes into turn 1. Heavy braking zone. We didn't quite catch the apex, but he tries to open up the entrance into turn 2. Gets over to the left-hand side. Catches the rumble strip and keeps going. So we can get a slightly higher camera than that one, as the nose was actually... roll bar's a good one. Yeah, we'll roll with that one. There we go. Yeah, that is the one I was looking for. Just graces the wall on the exit of turn 4. Now coming into 5. Heavy on the brakes again. It's if you make a mistake here, particularly early on, it can be pretty damn lethal. Through 6. Very cautious on the gas is Nick Domino in the car number 7. We actually have 2 car 7s. So you have 7 and 07. We'll pick up the second 07 car later on. Now into the next two turns. You can see actually the raised part of the apex, and these cars don't want to go anywhere near it. The GTE cars or any kind of GT cars have the suspension on the travel to be able to cope with those, and even they struggle. These things will just get catapulted if they go anywhere near those big sausage curves. Round the apex, and then just catches that small apex on the exit of turn 10. Now streaming on down the back straight. And this is going to be a long, just a full throttle by. Anyone that picks up a slipstream along here will have an opportunity to catch up. Now, but they're going to have to get the move done well before they get to this chicane, because you will not go too wide through there, or not very quickly, you won't, or even very successfully. And now we're starting to see some times come on the board. Adam Sandler, I knew I'd do that. Alex Sadler was first to get a time on the board, 128.488. Nick got a 130.874. That is a lap here at Montreal, a track many people are familiar with. Josh Thompson, because the only downside of this qualifying session is if I jump to someone, there's still no one anywhere near them. But Josh Thompson is our current posse, 129.206. The times are flooding in, as you can see on the top 15 counter on the left-hand side.
Yeah, it's. I'm expecting gaps to be pretty close in this. The league has always been very close, and even though it's a new car, it's still the same situation. These cars are very, very baseline. There is lots of things you can change in the setup, of course, but it's a lot focused on the driver. Which is what you want.
Indeed, it is indeed what we want. And I think something. Oh no, I was just about to say I think my track maps are about to pop up in the wrong place, so thankfully it didn't. So. Let us see.
Just for reference as well,
go on.
I did some digging.
Ooh.
Josh Thompson, when we last raced here in Season 9 of Formula Renault, he got pole then. And pole back then was a 132.5.
Wow, and we're already...
So considerably faster.
Wow. And what was that in?
That was in the Formula Renault 2.0.
Oh, the 2.0, yeah. Well, goodness me. 3.5 seconds already, and you can expect that time to continue to tumble. Oh, and you see the tail of Josh's car get very, very squiggly as it came through that last chicane, turns 13, 14. Did he improve? He did not. He was a 10th down on that last attempt. Jordan McDonnell in the second. René Osterkamp currently in the third. Tim Delisle 4. Alex Sadler 5. Marco Mogren. There's a number of names I don't recognise and a number of the ones I do, so again I apologise if I get anyone's names wrong. Oh, Josh just brushes the wall a little harder than he might have liked. Kimi Larson 7, Knut Madsen 8, Gregory Olsen 9, Alex. Oh, hello, we just had Christoph Holstein, our double GTE champions, just jumped up to 7th with a 129.810. Looks like Josh is going for all 3 of his laps.
Yeah, some will. It's from the other thing I was hearing from the drivers. I did some information gathering yesterday. These cars don't have tyre warmers yet, so the first racing lap is terrifying because there's no grip and the tyres aren't up to temperature or pressure, and they're taking a while to get going. So for this, it may be better to just keep plugging and just keep the pace up to get the tyres going.
Oh, Tim Delisle and. Marco Mogren have set the same lap time to the thousandths of a second, 128.488, 5th and 6th. Wow, you weren't kidding. And looking through the list, there isn't a gap bigger than about 1.5 tenths, really. No, there's not even that. Looking through the list.
Every little bit counts here, big time.
Yeah, gap from 1st to 29th is less than 2 seconds.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. The other change as well from previous seasons, if anyone used to watch the Formula Renault 2.0, is there are no tiers for this temporary first season. It's just all out. You're all in the same grid. Go for it.
Awesome.
So you're racing everybody. And points pay all the way down in this first race down to 20th. So some people probably are going to go away tonight in the first race at least without any points.
As is the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
Not everybody.
Morgan just hit the wall on his fast lap at the Wall of Champions. Carried way too much speed and he has crashed.
And let's put him back in the pits if if he could come out again, he would have time to do so. We still have some people without a time on the board. Evan Imre is one of them. He is streaming on down that back straight, looking to get a time on the board. Evan Imre, John Robertson, and Tom Van Humen are three people without a time. Here comes the Scotsman. Oh, there goes one of the people that didn't previously have a time now on the board. Where does Evan appear? 30th is where Evan Imre appears with a 130.8. But as Stevie was saying, the tyres are freezing cold as they start their day. Phil Reed jumped up to 3rd place with a 129.370. That is only just over 1.5 tenths off the top spot, as you can see. So, yeah, this is going to be fantastic.
He's just been demoted.
Yeah, Tim Delisle has just jumped up to 3rd then with a 129.350. That's absolutely stunning. Not many cars still going because a number of people have done their 3 laps. So Delisle still going. Kerry Nolden, a regular in AOR circles for the team AOR Orange car number 35, streaming on down to the last chicane. He's brought that one in, so that's his day done. Who else is still out there? John Robertson. Everyone, all 34 cars now have set a time on the board. Robertson in the UI1 PSR car 86 is on that back straight. Let's see if he is able to improve. Who is still out there? Alexei Sorokin in 15th, Daniel Morris 19th, Sarah Dove in 20th. Oh no, we've seen that so many times in practice. Quite a few people just catch that inside apex of that final chicane that tiny bit too hard, and it does one of two things. Either does exactly as John's just displayed very nicely and spins you, or it throws you into the wall. Neither is particularly advantageous.
The fast guys will use those, and I mean the very, very top guys will use that sausage curve. It's a real risk though, because if you get it millimeter wrong, if you damage the floor, you're in trouble. You damage a wing, you're in trouble. Damage a suspension, you're in trouble. And there's no let up here. This is a street track technically, and there are walls everywhere.
Oh yeah, and they're ready to greet you with very solid open arms. The last car on track, which is Alexei Sorokin, now brings his car in. As you can see at the counter at the top, the qualifying session is about to expire. And when that does, we will get the confirmed qualifying positions up. And there we go. So, last car to confirm their retirement is actually Ishmael Hernandez. So, this is your confirmed grid order. Josh Thompson for the opening round of the Formula 3 Championship gets the top spot with McDowell 2, Delisle 3, Phil Reed 4, Kerry Nolden 5, Rene Osterkamp in 6th. Maybe a bit of a surprise. He's still towards the front, to be fair, but most people are used to seeing him a bit further up than that. Then is Mogren 7, Olsen 8, Sadler 9, Martinson 10, Robertson 11, Holstein 12th for the opening round of the season. We still haven't even got to a second behind the leader yet. Then Kimi Larson 13 again. A big surprise for a number of his fans to find him down in 13th. And Hernandez 14th. Sorokin rounds out the top 15. And you have to get to 18th before you exceed a second from the leader. What a... Wow, I cannot wait for this to get underway.
It's going to be great. It's so slow. It's so close, sorry.
So slow?
You know what I mean? Top 33, 1.7 seconds. The entire grid's covered by just over 2 seconds. It's insanely close.
Now, I did wonder how well these Formula 3 cars would take a track like Montreal. It's very fast track. We all know this. Anyone that's a fan of most kinds of motor racing will know that it's a pretty quick track. So I did wonder how well these cars would take it. And well, from what we've seen already, it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to come down to those curves, exactly as Steve was saying earlier, particularly that final chicane, because it's a long way they're still on full gas for after that particular chicane. So if they get it right, they're going to gain some time. If they get it wrong, yeah, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, this is going to be great.
Oh yes. Oh, it's going to be good. Just waiting for everybody to get back on track. And away we go. Oh, look out front. There's a lot of jostling going on. And already the lead has changed. The numbers will shuffle around. We'll wait for that to settle down. Josh Thompson's actually hung on to the lead. I thought he'd lost it for a second. McDonald to Phil Reed up to third position then. Of course, with the field this big and this tightly packed, it's going to be very, very tightly condensed. That is Kerry Nolden hanging on to fifth position, fighting off Rennie Osterkamp as they come streaming towards that heavy braking zone at turn 5. Look at McDonald. He's right on the case of Josh Thompson. Already a gap forming between Reed and McDonald. It's certainly not what Phil Reed would have wanted. He's got a whole big train behind. Absolutely amazing stuff. Then look a little bit further back. There's Rennie Osterkamp in 6th position in the Sim RC Car 29 as they come streaming along, trying to fight. It looks like I'm not seeing any major gaps so far. Did everybody make it as far as you can see, Stevie?
Stuart Milne has no front wing at the minute.
Oh dear, that'll be a no then. Oh, there's a move there. Alex Sadler. I'm going to have to get used to that. Alex Sadler just got 8th from Gregory Olsen as that move continues to shake up. But looking up front, McDonald again, he's in the slipstream. The slipstream is very, very strong. These guys are actually running pretty decent amount of downforce, so when they get in the slipstream, it's essentially like a DRS. There's the information I've got. It's Kerry Nolden. Oh, he's in trouble. He's backwards. That's exactly what we were saying. Those curbs just spit you out, and that's disastrous then for the AOR Orange Car 35, all the way down to 20th, 21st. Oh, disaster.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were saying. You hit those curbs slightly wrong, and you will pay the price. But if you don't, you lose time. And those top guys, which Kerry is, he's a championship winner in these previous series. They're gonna take it every single time. First victim, but he's still in the race, and he's still in the points. So it's not over yet. He's just made his afternoon a lot harder.
So
the only other casualty I can see, by the way, is Evan Imre.
Evan Imre and Jacob Tofts as well. Early victims of this particular track. Let's jump back up to the front though, and oh, look at that, the top two with Thompson and McDonald broken away. Phil Reed has got company from Tim Delisle. Rennie Osterkamp is right in there as well with Mark and Mogren in 6th position. Sadler and Olsen having their battle now for 7th. So the field, exactly what we rather saw with the GTEs on Monday, they were very heavily condensed. There we see.
There's a bit of a gap forming back at in 14th. Luca Varani, he's dropped off a little bit off the back of Alexei Sorokin. He's got Conor Ryan and Alexander Wallow just behind him in a three-way battle for 14th.
Indeed, and now 1.5 seconds separate second and third. The battle for the lead rages on and is probably going to go on for quite some time because it's a 40-minute race, but it's pretty much going to be absolutely flat out for the most part. The only time these guys are going to get any kind of respite is in the mandatory pit stop that they're going to have. What's happened to Robertson? He's lost. He was certainly lost one. He's side by side. That's Holstein. Who's that that's in the wall?
I'm going to guess Stuart Milne getting out of the way. Yeah, he's parked it out of the way. He's getting out of the way. He's a lap down already. Nicely to get out of the way there, though. Although I'm sure some drivers will complain he disrupted their turning point, but he's off the track. He's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. There's no issue there. So keeping an eye on what's going on up front. I'm trying to look absolutely everywhere, to be fair, but it's absolutely impossible.
Kimi Larsson's not had a great first lap or two. He's down in 28th. He's 15 places down from where he started.
I was going to say, I can't find him.
Morris is down 10, but they're still going. I don't think we have anybody fully out. Jacob. Even Jacob Tofts is still driving. He's still driving.
Oh, okay. So
2 laps down, but he's still driving.
Yeah, so at least 2 major incidents on the opening laps for this race, but no such trouble then for our lead 2. Phil Reed and that's Phil Reed and Tim Delisle. That's Robert. Huge incident for Phil Reed. He hit the back of Tim Delisle, just sprung up in the air. He's reversed and damaged his rear wing whilst trying to get out of everyone's way. But what a shame for Phil Reed. He's going
in the worst spot.
Yeah, again, he's trying his best not to disrupt everybody flying past him. But yeah, just one little tap. And that's the thing with the single-seaters. I was actually explaining this to a colleague at work where, the GTEs, you can get away with a bit of, a nudge in the tail or a bit of door banging. You do that in these things. And Phil Reed perfectly displayed what can happen is they just fly up in the air.
It's not great for both Team AOR Orange cars. They've both been caught out on the Wall of Champions. And Phil, I think, has quite significant damage. His front wing, rear wing, it's all a bit wonky, and I suspect he's also got steering damage from the wiggling he's doing. So that's not gone well for him.
Indeed, no. And Canute Martinson. Oh, no! Canute now has fallen foul. That's a roundabout turn. And those collected. That was Luca. I can't get his name. He keeps moving. There he is. It's Luca Verani. That's he's collected in that incident. And that's the nature, when a new car is introduced, of course, you don't have that inherent knowledge. It's not like the GTEs where people have been driving them for many laps over many different circuits. It's a case of there's so much learning having to be done. These guys are, like Stevie said earlier, they've only had them for about a week. And yeah, you can put in a lot of time, but there's that inherent knowledge, that muscle memory, those kind of instincts that you just don't have with a brand new car. As Holstein's in the pits, he could be serving his mandatory pit stop early. That's absolutely fine. There's no detailing on when you have to serve your pit stop. It's just as long as you serve it within the race.
Yeah, you don't have to pit for fuel, but you do have to change either both front or both rear tyres. Just to give you a reason to pit. It looks like to me that Jordan McDonnell has front wing damage. He does have front wing damage.
Oh dear, that'll be why he's falling off the pace a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. He has. I'm not sure where he's done that, but he certainly has got some on the right-hand side. It'll
be just where they're clipping the wall. The best lines from the best drivers, they would just kiss the wall on their way past. So he's just overjudged, where to kind of slide the car in, and he's just overdone that a little bit.
It's very it's easy to do when you're pushing this hard. The other thing as well that I got from the drivers was that this car was quite hard to save if it starts to go.
Yeah.
I think that was evident with Canute's slide. He just dropped it through turn 9, couldn't save it, and then was sideways in the middle of the track. And it's one thing to practice. It's one thing you can lap 100 times. But when you're on your own, that's different to being in a race and you've got people behind you and you're chasing, and different kind of situation.
Oh, completely, yes. John Robertson brings his car in. He was from 9th position. So, fairly standard pit stop, I would imagine, for him. Although McDonald just caught the wall again. Still hanging on to Josh Thompson. He's still around about a second behind, so he's not falling massively off the back of a car 49, but he's struggling to keep up the pace. And again, you can just hear in the background people just catching the wall. There is Tim Delisle with Randy Osterkamp for company. That's a battle for third as they stream through the same corners. Another battle, another pair is Marco Mogren and Alex Sadler for 5th position. Cars 82 and 21. There they are. Then in the background you've got Gregory Olsen, a little bit on his own. Then nearly 6 seconds back, Alexei Sorokin. Again, not under immediate pressure. Connor Ryan and Ishmael Hernandez in a very close battle for 9th. You can see that car 22 is almost pushing Connor Ryan into the hairpin. But, they're kind of minding their own business for now. And yeah, just looking at the gaps, McDonald lost another couple of tenths off the back of Josh Thompson. So that damage is going to be hurting. And so with these cars able to kind of, they're used to running the levels of downforce they are. This looks like a move by Ishmael Hernandez. There he goes on to Connor Ryan. Because they're running quite high levels of downforce, the slipstream is that much more powerful, and we're going to see, I would imagine, quite a few moves into that final turn. Although, Hernandez feeling the need to jump very much to the line to defend into turn 1 already. And nearly actually runs into Connor Ryan. On they go. Battle for 9th continues. Battling up and down the field. There's Osterkamp. He's very close to Delisle now. So a definite battle forming for that last podium spot.
Yeah, you can't ever count Rene Osterkamp down. He's 3-time champion in the Formula Renault 2.0. He is quick. He knows how to win races and he knows how to win championships. And there's a lot of new drivers. And they're not going to stop him from trying to take 4th.
No, indeed.
He's up 2 places already, and he looks like he's not finished yet.
Happy days. The tail of Delisle's car getting a little bit sideways as they come out of the hairpin. And there's the gap then between the top two. That's very much increased from where we left them. There you see Sadler and Mogren having their battle as well. It looks like Osterkamp a little bit too far off the back of Tim Delisle to make a move this time. Coming into the chicane, no such problem then as Sadler slides past Marco Mogren into 5th position. So that's a battle very much done. Who else can we have a look at? Alexander Waldo is in 13th position. There you see Erika Lindström. It's only someone that...
Roland and Pierce are having a bit of a scrap right now. I caught them last lap with Varani, who was at the lead of this pack, and they were having quite the scrap. Varani has dropped off her back, looking back now, but they are still fighting all the way down in 14th to 15th place.
Absolutely they are. It's only someone that has done well. Up 12 positions is Sarah Dove for AOR Purple in car 177. She's pretty much just avoided everyone else's issues, and up to 11th, there you see Erika Lindström directly behind her. Decent effort for her. Who else can we look at? There's Kimi Larsson right behind Nick Domino. John Robertson, actually one of the early pitters, is not far behind them. Oh, that's a back marker. That's Milne. That's Stuart Milne getting out of the way. So Kimi Larsson continuing on. He hasn't been through the pits yet, but is a long way down from his initial starting position for the Super Swedes. And then the field is fairly well spread out with... Oh, look at that! That was John Robertson siding past Stuart Milne. Then getting it, he's hanging on to the last points paying position at the moment, but still another 28 minutes of racing left to do.
Just having a little look at those that have had incidents and gone into the pits. Phil Reed is still gone back out. He is running in 30th. Jacob Toff still running 31st. Luke Martinson is in the pits currently, getting fixed. Evan Imrie still also getting fixed. Kerry Nolan's running in 22nd.
Yes, Evan's been in there a while.
I don't think Evan's coming back out.
I think that's a fair assumption that we won't be seeing the Bonnie Scotsman return to the track. As the top guys are now spread out a bit, the closest battle towards the front is still this one, 4th, 5th position of Sadler and Mogren. As Osterkamp has fallen off the back of Tim Delisle after their battle ensued. Also, next one down the road that's fairly close is this one, Sarah Dove and Lindström. As they come towards turn 5. Erika Lindström trying to hang on to the back of Sarah Dove. And then Domino and John Robertson's just got past Nick Domino. Amazing graphics, man. And then behind
he's instrumental for this overlay.
Very much so. Oh, definitely, yeah, jumping back up to the Sarah Dove and Erika Lindström battle. That's gotten very close now. Lindström was 4 tenths quicker than Sarah Dove last time around. He's only 5 tenths behind now, or not even that. So, really getting close into that hairpin. There you see Alexander Waldo is a couple of seconds behind them. Oh, a big tank slapper there for Lindström. Did you get an indication on tyre wear for these cars, Stevie?
They've no idea. From what I was told yesterday, they've not done many long stints in them, these cars, so they've no idea how well the tyres are going to last over a race.
Yeah, that was what I got as well.
They're not that long races. So
what has happened to John Robertson? Something has happened? No, it's just my overlay shuffling around. Nothing's happened to John Robertson. I thought he'd fallen down somewhat, but he hasn't at all.
Well, you know. The other thing I was warned about was the hairpin, and said that traction out of the hairpin was tough. So that's something to watch. I was guaranteed by some drivers that many drivers would spin. I haven't seen any yet. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, we haven't seen any sort of incidents since the early casualties of the race so far.
John Robertson on the back of Kimi Larsson at the minute.
Where's Mr. Robertson?
Although kind of similar pace right now. Last lap, Kimi was 10th, a second slower, but overall he's 4 tenths faster. But we'll see if John is going to crash the attack. It looks like he's going to. Ooh, who's that in the background?
Don't know on that one.
It's Low Bob. He was just letting them through.
Okay. Yeah, so Robertson then. Oh, he's getting very close to the tail of car 99. Robertson is our lead car that's pitted, bear in mind. So that's something else that obviously everyone ahead of him will have to come into the pits at some point. Oh, I have a lag moment there. And just about Kimi Larson just about hanging on, or keeping that ever-chasing car 86 behind. Surely he's going to make a move now. Here comes, and that's how effective the slipstream is. You just saw how much speed Robertson picked up off the back of Larson's car. There was no way Kimi Larson was going to defend against that. And sized through into 17th position for John Robertson. And I would imagine that pace is going to keep up. Ooh, yeah, Lindstrom and Dove still very, very close in that battle for 11th. Looks like the rest of the field are fairly spread out and minding their own business at the moment. It's a bit surprising, but then not everybody is kind of suited as well as they might think to single-seaters. It's not a great deal of transferable from a GTE car to a single-seater.
No, it's a completely different vehicle, really. You've got to remember that these cars are
big incident! Sarah Dove, Stevie. Sarah Dove and Lindstrom. Lindstrom running over Sarah Dove. So Sarah just had a spin and Lindstrom had nowhere to go. Slams into the side of car 177. Those two then getting back underway. Huge damage for Lindstrom. And Lindstrom may actually be out as a result of it, as he seemed to have parked up at the side of the road. Oh dear. You were saying we hadn't had a major incident for a while, and yet Lindstrom has jumped back to the pits. So that may well be the end of car 98.
That's a shame, but just as I was saying is how delicate these cars are. They cannot take the battering that a LMP or a GTE car can take. They are very flimsy. You have to be kind to them. Tim Delisle, by the way, has caught up a little bit to Jordan McDonald. He's now within a second. And from what I was told yesterday, the drivers predict the slipstream is around about the same as Formula Renault, so you need to really be within about 6/10 to get the full measure of it. And when you get it, it's pretty good, but you've got to get there.
Yeah.
And these cars are a bit of a step up from the Formula Renault 2.0. They're a bit more powerful. They're a bit better with the aerodynamics, and with that comes that little bit extra dirty air that we're so familiar with in open seat.
Oh, and again, big wiggle there from McDonald. He got on the power, but the rear tyres weren't ready to handle it. And this could well be a move then for Tim Delisle to get another one up the podium on the roll bar of the Privateer 17. There he goes. He's not going to quite get there in time. No, he backs off on that. Interesting that McDonald has chosen to continue. He's sticking to his strategy, whatever that may be, because we don't know what pit strategies these drivers are running.
Generally speaking, in the previously you would run as long as you could if you were out front. You would go for the overcut because tyre wear wasn't that much of a penalty, and you would just burn the fuel off longer, and you can avoid all the carnage of anything happening behind you if you're out front. So that's maybe what these cars will try and do again.
We will see. So Tim Delisle not able to make the pass here. Rennie Osterkamp is not far behind. So McDonald was actually slower than Rennie Osterkamp as well. So that three-way battle could well condense. And there you're seeing in the background was Alex Sadler. So he's a couple of seconds behind Rennie Osterkamp at the moment. He could well get involved in that battle should it happen. Let's have a look at a battle further down the field. Unfortunately, having a little bit of a few lag moments, which is upsetting the numbers a little bit, but pressing on as best we can. Conor Ryan is very much on his own, but not the case for Jordan Pierce and John Robertson. So John Robertson's been carving his way through the pit. Oh, and again, big whack off the wall for someone. John Robertson's actually dragging Kimi Larson with him. So John Robertson, remember, was our pole man. Oh no, it wasn't. He started 11th, according to the overlay. I thought he was up. Well, he was up front for a while. And there we go. There goes Robertson. A fairly straightforward pass, not actually in a common passing spot. That just shows the pace difference going on. Oh no!
He's gone. He's spun. He's still going. He had a brilliant pirouette, but he's spun.
Well saved, but yeah, that's exactly where the incident with Sarah Dove happened. So he managed to keep that one out. Was anyone running close to the incident limit, Mr. Seaby?
The incident limit for this race, just to refresh viewers, is 15x. From what I'm seeing, the closest at the minute is Stuart Milne. Also Evan Imrie, but I don't think Evan's going to be jump anymore.
No.
Daniel Morris is overtaking for 15th place, or being overtaken. Yep, he's been overtaken. But yeah, for the most part, lower class on 9, everybody's being pretty well behaved at the minute, which is good to see. It also helps that when you do have an off-track here, you crash.
Yeah.
So the incentive to not have an off-track is pretty high.
Absolutely, where just amount of carnage goes on. This battle, this three-way battle, or what is going to become a three-way battle, is really condensing now. McDonald, Delisle and Osterkamp is getting pretty close. Here comes Tim Delisle again. He's not going to... Once again, just McDonald getting the drive he needs at the time he needs it. And now that's Delisle coming in. Did Osterkamp do the same? No, Osterkamp chose to continue. So another one comes into the pits.
This will be interesting to see if anyone behind reacts to Tim.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, Alex Sadler is... I thought it was actually John Robertson was our lead person that's pitted. It's not actually the case. It's actually this man, Alex Sadler, has been through the pit. Started in 9th position, I believe. Oh, there's another one in. That's Alexei Sorokin. Brings his car in, number 87.
Alex Sadler, just for reference, has run his best lap. It was up there with the leader's pace.
Nice.
He's incredibly quick. So we will see where he fares in all of this. He only pitted a lap ago, but he's already got his bit done.
Yeah, Tim Delisle's come out 4.4 seconds clear of Sadler, so no immediate pressure there. Just jump back to Larson. Actually, he's still with John Robertson. So whilst Kimmy hasn't been through the pits yet, he's hanging on to the back of John Robertson, lapping to within the same 10th of a second. So that's going to help him, going to close in gaps ahead of them. They carry on at that kind of pace. Connor Ryan now up into 6th position, with most people otherwise pitting. There's Josh Thompson, who was our pole man. I don't know why I thought it was John Robertson earlier on. He still leads the way. He leads Jordan McDonald by 6.2 seconds. Now there he is. That's back marker. Oh no, that's Randy Osterkamp. Beg your pardon. Jordan is in.
Jordan pit. He's going to try and cover Tim.
Right.
Getting under pressure a little bit, so this is going to be interesting to see where he goes. Tim is on the back straight now.
Where is Delisle? He is there. There he is.
Tim's going through the final chicane at the minute.
But I would imagine unless Jordan McDonald doesn't get that front wing fixed, surely he's going to lose that position.
You don't get a choice. If your front wing needs fixing, it gets fixed.
Oh, but he's done him though. Look at that. He's actually beaten Tim Delisle. So that is the gap between the two now. It is around about 1.8 seconds between 6th and 7th. But they now become our lead cars that have been through the pit lane. That was a really quick start by McDonald, and that was a very, very impressive front wing change.
It was a good start from it. It was a good entire thing through the pit lane for McDonald. Through the pit lane itself, he was 7 tenths faster, and the stop on its own was 3 tenths faster.
Wow!
A second quicker just in the pits. It's every little bit matters.
Absolutely. We're well over halfway in this race now, and still leading the way is Josh Thompson. Still hasn't brought his car in. Leads by 6.3 over Randy Osterkamp, who does bring his CMRC car 29 in for his stop. So Marco Mogren is going to pick up 2nd position in 82 for Radicals Online JRT. And Olsen has come in as well from 4th position. Car number 5. Connor Ryan, what does he do? In 43, he continues. So he'll pick up another couple of positions for now. But Jordan McDonald is not far behind. But equally, Tim Delisle has closed him in. So those two are looking to continue their battle with fresh front wing on McDonald's car.
It's going to be close.
Oh, that is indeed very close. And Osterkamp slides right in between the pair of them. So McDonald, Osterkamp and Delisle in that battle now for what is currently 4th. But as the top 3 will pit, we'll see if... there's 17 seconds between McDonald and Ryan. And then 12.5 between Mogren and Thompson. So we'll see how that shapes up. as to who slots out where. But wow, what a battle that is forming here.
What a great stop by Rene Osterkamp through the entire pit lane, 29 seconds compared to McDonald, 34.5.
Wow.
That is not having to change a front wing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely that. So we're just keeping an eye then on where our lead guys are. Tim Delisle right under the rear wing of the car 29 Rene Osterkamp. Decent drive off of the hairpin. That's another back marker that's in between. Was ahead of Jordan McDonald. Not entirely sure who. Is Thompson in? No, he's long way past
right now.
And
Mogren, is he going to go into the chicane? He's having a look at the inside. Running backs out. Just about all the sides. But he didn't touch.
That was very close, but that's going to allow Osterkamp to then come back at Tim Delisle then on the start from the straight before they get to turn 1. And no, car 29's backed out of that. Or is he going to dive on the inside of turn 1? He does. And car 17, Delisle does give him the space. And that is Osterkamp back up into 5th. But look how much time that cost him. McDonald is gone. Yes,
yeah. I think that was mission critical for Rene to get past Tim there. I think that was I'm faster than you. I need to get this on. But that was inspired by the Tim trying to attack Rene. That all happened because Tim tried to attack Rene. So maybe it was the other way around. Maybe Tim was like, no, I was in that spot. Move.
Yeah, I want it back. And McDonald, that's Connor Ryan you just seen going through the shot. So Connor's not been through the pits yet. The top 3 haven't. Most of the field have been through the pits now. Only a handful of cars have not. So this is technically a battle for 3rd, but will Connor Ryan choose to fight him, knowing that Jordan has been through, well, whether he knows Jordan's been through the pits or not, he'll certainly know that Jordan is bearing down on him. So it's going to be...
He'll certainly know that he wasn't in 3rd before.
Yes, he'll know that's an inherited position. So is he going to fight and thus potentially slow down McDonald? Even whether he does or not, Rene Osterkamp is on the move, but he is dragging Tim Delisle with him. That's the gearbox view from Osterkamp. McDonald, he knows better than to throw it on the inside of the chicane from that close, and that looks like Connor Ryan's in. Yep, well that answered that particular question. Car 43 from 3rd place comes in, handing over that potential podium spot to Jordan McDonald. He's got 19.6 to close down to Mogren, 32.5, and that gap I think has come down a little bit. So 32.5 between yourself and Josh Thompson. Josh isn't showing any sign of wanting to come in the pits yet. As Stevie mentioned earlier, there's no kind of tyre wear issue with these cars. So they don't have to kind of think, oh, these tyres are going to give up in a minute. There's Sadler that's actually right behind Delisle as well. So that battle is not resolved yet, as 21, Alex Sadler is now involved.
There's also a little battle going on for 20th place right now between Sarah Dove and Chris Holstein. Chris, they've both pitted. Yep, they've both pitted, and I'm having a bit of a lag moment, so I can see they're back.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of those, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, what's happened to Delisle? Oh, that's a very big issue for Delisle. I saw he was actually going backwards on the speedo. He's lost that one. What on earth happened to him? Let's see if we can get a replay of what happened to Tim Delisle. Unfortunately, it's not giving... Oh, no. Unfortunately, I caught it at the point that... can I go back any further than that? Oh, here we go. So we're picking up Tim Delisle as he's come through that chicane. So where did it go wrong for him?
Oh, he's had a hardware failure.
Oh no, so he's just gunned off the road.
Yeah.
Oh no, what a shame for him. So we're still watching him. So he's gone through turn 2. It's around here somewhere that it's gone wrong. So into 3. All is well at the moment. Where did it all go wrong for car 17?
I think it was up towards turn 9.
Yeah, so that's 5 and 6.
We have also just lost Ismail Hernandez.
Oh no!
Left the server.
Oh.
So I think something may have happened to him.
And Tim Delisle still going. So yeah, must be around here somewhere. Oh, says that's gone okay. It happened in a lag moment. That's why I haven't been able to see it.
Yeah.
So,
And the leader is in the pits, by the way.
Oh, now it's all going to happen then. So, Mogren has chosen to continue. So, new race leader, car 82, is going to take over the lead. Where is McDonald? He's coming into the final chicane. And Thompson is having... Oh, no, he's not having... Oh, yeah, he would have had tyres, but... Out he comes. Oh, how close is this going to be?
He's got this.
Oh, yeah, he's got it. It wasn't as close as I thought it would be.
Long clear, he's fine.
I thought that was going to be a lot closer than it actually was, unfortunately.
Interesting that now that Tim's had his unfortunate issue, the pressure is starting to ramp back up on Jordan as Rennie starts to close that gap back down. Last lap, he was 0.6 quicker than Jordan. Renee's coming.
He is coming, and that's never something you want. And that is the view from the tail of Jordan McDonald. And that, like Stevie just said, that gap closed by 0.6 last time around. It wasn't like McDonald's lap was particularly bad. It's just Renee's lap was very good. I think Renee actually... Oh no, beg your pardon. Alex Sadler has the fastest lap of the race with a 29.7. If I've got that right. Oh no, it's actually Tim Delisle. It's Tim Delisle at 29.6. I beg your...
Actually, unfortunately, no, it's Josh Thompson.
Oh, it's Tom Thompson, 29.5. There we go. It's because my list wasn't sorted in that order. That's how I didn't get that. So it's very close, but still... Yeah, so poor Tim. Oh, that's not a happy-looking car. I suspect that's the last we'll see of that one. It's a great shame.
For tonight... Well, for this
race,
there is another race coming up.
Yep.
As we're into the less than the last 10 minutes.
Whoa, Rene! That was a clenching moment as he got very, very squarely on the exit of that chicane. Managed to keep it out of the wall, but only just.
Watching it back on the replay. Oh, yes, that curb. That curb can be mean.
Yeah.
It does not like being touched.
No, very much not.
As we're into the last 7.5 minutes of this race, the next race is gridded based off the top 20 in reverse grid order, provided that no one is more than a lap down. You can be a lap down and still benefit, but after that you get out of it. Well, the first driver in the top 20 is Kimi Larson.
Yes, I was about to say that. There is Kimi Larson. In 20th, the first car a lap down, you could say, or the last car that isn't a lap down is Alain Tessier, who's not far actually down the road from Kimi Larson. And that there is Marco Mogren, who does have to come in the pits still, bear in mind. So he leads the race by 12.2 over Josh Thompson. Is he coming in this time? He does indeed. So that he's going to hand the lead back over to Josh Thompson, our pole man. Is he going to have the clean sweep? Is he going to have, for the opening round of the season, pole, fastest lap, and the race win? He's got another 6.5 minutes. It's going to translate into about 5 laps-ish. Mogren hasn't stopped yet. I thought he'd actually stopped and gotten going again. I was like, wow, that was quick. That was amazingly quick. But no, he will fall a long way down. And keeping an eye on Oscar, though, another 0.2 gone out of that gap between himself and McDonald. He's teetering right on the edge of where the slipstream is really going to become effective for him.
Yeah, he's just starting to get into that reach now, where he's going to start feeling that little bit of benefit. And that's all he needs. And once you can latch on and get into that more powerful area and that more powerful range, then you have, then it becomes good. Then you can really start to pile the pressure on.
Because I mean, it's hellishly hard to break that slipstream when it's that strong, especially at a track like this that is a lot of the circuit is full throttle for these cars. It's not somewhere like Monaco, which is just start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. So this slipstream is next to useless. These guys have got to essentially be very, very tactical about how they use the slipstream, or how they defend, indeed, from the slipstream of the car behind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, I have a horrible feeling, Sarah Dove has had an issue. She's still in the pit lane and doesn't look like she's being lifted or anything. And she's been in there for 47 seconds at this point.
Well, what a shame. But then, unless she didn't come into the pit from that incident she had with Lindstrom.
Possibly.
Which means that's a lot of damage on that car. But she's been limping a long time then, if that's been the case. Because that was quite a few laps ago now. But it does mean Kimi Larson's back on the lead lap. And Nick Domino is now our last car on the lead lap. And he's got, I think that is indeed Josh Thompson right behind him. So Nick Domino will have to jump out of the way. As the car directly behind. I'm trying to identify who that is. Car 44. Oh dear, it's gone horribly wrong for Mr. It is indeed. He is 2 laps down and very much under blue flags. There goes Josh Thompson past all of them. Let's go back to Nick Domino a minute. Who's that behind him? That's Phil Reed.
The one is Phil Reed. There's some of the numbers they've carried the numbers over from the Formula Renault numbers, and Phil moving the 44 for a certain F1 driver.
I see.
And supporting a different F1 driver with his helmet choice. But we won't mention either of them because of reasons.
Ready Oscar now within a second of Jordan McDonald. I'm now mixing up the first and second driver names. René Osterkamp then is really looking to press up. Although McDonald was a 10th quicker than car 29 last time around, that gap is back below a second. So, and again, big slide from car 29 towards that ever waiting wall of champions. And there we go. 2/10 nearest down for McDonald. That battle for second is not yet resolved, and they've got 3 laps left to resolve it.
Yeah, time's running out, but I don't think René will feel too upset at a potential podium on the first race of the season. Only 6 rounds in this league because we're, like we said, we're alterating with the 3.5, but it still counts. 12 races, every round has a feature and sprint race. This is the one that pays the big points, so I'm sure he'll welcome that with welcome.
Absolutely. Now the Formula Renault 3 and the Formula Renault 3. Try that again. Formula 3 and the Formula Renault 3.5. Their championship tables are completely different, are they not?
Yes, they are completely separate leagues. There are some drivers that you'll see in 3, and there are some that you'll see in the 3.5, and some will do both cars, but they are separate standings. They are not. One result doesn't impact the other.
But there's essentially 2 races. Well, there are 2 races per round. So whilst it is 6 rounds, it's a feature and a sprint race in both. It's, as Steve was explaining, both of them earning points. Oh, look how defensive McDonald went. He went for that inside line really, really early. He is not confident about. He may well be confident about. Oh, crikey, René, that's close.
That could have been a problem. Oh, Chris Holstein's having a move on Luca Varani for 14th. He's really had a mistake out turn 6 or 7, it looks like. And Chris side by side with him now up towards turn 9. I'm good with the numbers.
It's 8 and 9, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Varani held that one off.
He did.
It's interesting to see, isn't it? You were talking earlier about how difficult it is to adjust. You know, we look at Chris Holstein, who at Spa in the GTE car came within a second of winning the race after an hour and 20 minutes, and he's down in 15th place.
Yeah.
And he's not had a bad race.
Kerry Olden on the back of Conor Ryan, so that's a battle for 9th position. They are half a second apart, as are McDonald and Osterkamp now. We are 1.5 laps from home now in this feature race. That's one of the back markers getting out of the way. Who's that? That's 862. That is, I looked at you earlier, that's Loic Barb, who's staying very much out of the way, does not want to get involved. And René picking up a bit of slipstream. Oh, which way are you going to go? He's Lois is minding his own business. He's not trying to block anybody. I think it's just René trying to pick up a bit of slipstream. Didn't quite work as well as he would have hoped, because he ended up kind of wiggling around everywhere, so it rather undid the benefit of it. And actually, if anything, it compromised his line into that chicane. Final lap then, lap 26. Lap 27 rather, 26 laps done. Josh Thompson leading very comfortably by 9 seconds. Jordan McDonald still fends off René Osterkamp, but that gap has gone up. At that moment there for Osterkamp cost him 3/10. Alex Sadler, 4th. He's 3 seconds behind Osterkamp. Then it is Mogren took over the lead for a while before his pit stop. It's going to finish a decent 5th position at this rate. Then it is Gregory Olsen in 6th. Then Alexei Sirotkin, 3.7 behind. John Robertson in 8th position, up from his qualifying position, as you can see. Then it is Ryan and Nolden having a scrap for 9th place. And that rounds out the top 10. Morris is quite some way back in 11th. Suominen 12, Waldo 13, Holstein 14. Oh, Holstein and Varani still having their battle, and still car number 9 cannot find his way past.
No, he's having to work for it, but he's drastically running out of time. As Josh Thompson coming down the back straight. He's only got one chicane to go. It's not like it's an important chicane where you can kill you at any time, though.
But he's gone and done it on the opening round of the Formula 3. Your winner here in Montreal. He's got the fastest lap. He had the pole. He's taken the clean sweep. It is car 49 for Thrustmaster Mivana Racing. It is Josh Thompson. A very, very comfortable win. But and look at that stream of cars coming over the line. That is Jordan McDonald taking 2nd. Rene Osterkamp 3. Sadler 4. Keep going, we'll find the end of the train in a minute. Mulgren 5. Olsen just coming over the line. There he comes through the final chicane in 6th. Then it is going to be Sirotkin in 87 for 7th position. Then there's John Robertson. Oh, John Robertson slightly further back. Here he comes. There is Connor Ryan. So actually, Kerry Nolden fell off the back of Ryan in the closing stages of the lap. He may have made a mistake or hit the wall. And then it's going to be Daniel Morris is going to take 11th position in car 777 for Team AOR Blue. So that's just how long that big straight is. Here he comes through the final chicane. And then it is going to be Jukka Suominen, followed in short succession by Alexander Waldo for the Super Swedes. There is the battle between Luca Verani and Christoph Holstein. It carried on to the line, but car 222, Luca Verani manages to fend off the GTE double champion. Then Marcel Miles takes 16. Kimi Larsen is going to cross the line in 17th position. Oh, what might have been. It has not gone well for Kimi in this opening round. And everyone else was a lap down. So starting with 34 and this is just 17 on the lead lap, and that will conclude our first race. What a cracker!
Yeah, it was very, very interesting, very exciting. And Jordan Pierce is our pole man for race number 2, coming up in not too long. There'll be a little bit of a break. They get a 10-minute warm-up session just to make sure everybody gets time to get into the session, and then it's straight into a race. For 25 minutes, no pit stops, nothing but flat-out racing.
Indeed, and yeah, what a race we have. So like we say, we will be back when the sprint race is due to start. It's 15 minutes from now, I believe. Confirm that to me, Stevie. That's 15.
Race 2 starts at 9:40 UK.
Yes, so 15 minutes from now is when the sprint race will begin. So the stream will essentially be paused for the next 15 minutes. And we shall return upon when the sprint race for round number 1 here at Montreal will begin. Do come back to us and we will see you then.